Before you even open your mouth, something already happened. In the first few seconds of meeting you, people decide your value. Not consciously, not logically, instinctively. And once that decision is made, almost everything that follows is filtered through it. They decide if you're someone to listen to, someone to respect, or someone they can safely ignore. Most men never realize this moment exists. They think value is built over time, through effort, through explanation, through proving themselves. It isn't. Value is assigned immediately. Your posture, your stillness, the way you enter a space, all of it sends signals before a single word is spoken. And the brain on the other side is fast, ancient, brutally efficient. It doesn't wait to be convinced. It asks one question: is this person solid or adjustable? If the answer is adjustable, the interaction is already over. You can talk for 10 minutes after that and still feel unheard. You'll notice people interrupt you, talk over you, lose interest halfway through your sentence. And you won't know why. This is why some men speak less but are taken seriously, why others talk more but feel invisible, why confidence isn't loud, it's felt. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what happens in those first moments, why people decide your value before you speak, and how to flip that decision without acting dominant, fake, or aggressive. Once you understand this, conversations change. People respond differently, and you stop chasing respect. It starts showing up on its own. Stay with me, because what comes next is the part most men miss completely. Here's the part most people never realize. The moment you walk into a room, people don't wait to hear what you say. They already feel where you stand. Strong, neutral, or invisible. And that feeling settles fast. Your brain does this too, instantly. You scan posture, pace, facial tension, confidence. You decide who leads and who follows without thinking. Everyone does. That's why value is decided before words even matter. Most men lose power right here. They rush to fill the silence. They smile too early. They explain who they are, what they do, why they're worth listening to. And without meaning to, they lower their position. Power doesn't come from saying the right thing. It comes from not needing to say anything yet. When you pause at the start, something interesting happens. The other person leans in mentally. Their brain starts asking questions. Who is this guy? Why is he calm? Why isn't he trying? That pause creates tension, and tension creates attention. Watch high-status people closely. They don't hurry. They don't adjust themselves to the room. The room adjusts to them. Their movements are slow, controlled, economical. Nothing extra. Nothing rushed. And silence? Silence is not awkward when you own it. Silence is only uncomfortable for the person who feels smaller in it. If you speak too quickly, you give control away. If you wait, control shifts toward you. This isn't about intimidation. It's about certainty. Calm certainty tells the nervous system around you that you're grounded. And humans instinctively follow what feels grounded. By the time you finally speak, people are already listening differently. Your words land heavier. Not because they're smarter, but because the frame is set. And once the frame is set, changing it becomes very hard. Here's what most people never realize. In those first moments, people aren't judging what you say. They're judging how settled you are inside your body. They read your breathing, your stillness, your comfort with being seen. That's why two men can say the exact same words and get completely different reactions. One feels solid, the other feels like he's waiting for permission. Eye contact plays a role here, but not the way most men think. This isn't about staring someone down. That feels insecure, and it's not about looking away either. That feels unsure. Real presence sits in the middle. You look, you hold, then you release. No rush, no tension, no trying to dominate the moment. Your face stays neutral, calm, slightly unreadable. When you smile too early, you give away your leverage. Early smiles signal approval seeking, and approval seeking instantly lowers perceived value. Your body does the same thing your eyes do. It stays still, grounded, comfortable. You don't shift your weight. You don't fidget. You don't adjust your clothes like you're trying to fix something, because nothing needs fixing. Men who lack power move constantly. Men with power move only when they choose to. Stillness tells the room you're not reacting, you're observing. Then comes your voice. Not louder, not deeper on purpose. Slower. Speed is nervous energy. Slowness creates gravity. When you speak just a little slower than normal, people subconsciously adjust to your pace. And once that happens, you're no longer following the interaction. You're setting it. By the time the conversation actually begins, something has already shifted. They don't know why. They just feel it. And that feeling decides everything that comes next. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Once people decide your value, they stop listening to what you say and start filtering how you say it. The same words coming from two men don't land the same. One gets ignored, the other gets remembered. The difference isn't intelligence, it's perceived position. Most men lose power by trying to be understood. They explain, they justify, they add details nobody asked for. And every extra sentence quietly lowers their status, because the subconscious rule is simple. The man who explains believes he's not believed. High-value men don't rush to clear confusion. They let silence sit. They allow others to adjust. When someone misunderstands them, they don't panic. They correct calmly, or they don't correct at all. That calm signals confidence. Another mistake happens right here. Emotional leakage. A raised eyebrow, a forced laugh, a quick nod to show agreement. These micro-reactions seem harmless, but they communicate need, and need kills authority instantly. Controlled men move less, react less, adjust less. Their stillness becomes a reference point. When everyone else shifts emotionally, they stay grounded, and humans instinctively orient toward whatever feels stable. This is why presence beats personality. You don't need to be interesting, you need to be solid. People trust solidity. They follow it without realizing why. Listen closely. Power is not about dominating others. It's about not being pulled into their frame. The moment you start reacting instead of choosing, you've already lost ground. When you remain steady, others adapt. Their tone changes, their pace slows. They give you space without being asked. By this point in the interaction, something important has already happened. You haven't said much, but your value has been locked in. And from here on, everything you say carries more weight. Here's where most men lose everything they built in the first moments without even realizing it. They give up their frame. It happens subtly. Someone interrupts them. Someone dismisses a point. Someone tests them with a joke, a look, a small push. And instead of holding ground, they adapt. They laugh it off. They speed up. They explain. That's the moment value drops. Not because of what was said, but because of what was tolerated. Power isn't about aggression, it's about non-negotiability. The man with value doesn't rush to defend himself, he doesn't escalate, he simply doesn't move. If someone cuts him off, he finishes his sentence calmly. If someone rushes him, he slows down. If someone disrespects him, he responds with presence, not emotion. That response resets the hierarchy instantly. Most people are unconsciously searching for structure. They push just to see where the edge is. When they find it, they relax. When they don't, they keep pushing. This is why boundaries create comfort, and comfort creates respect. Another mistake men make is overstaying. They linger too long in conversations, trying to extract more validation. But power exits first. Always. Ending an interaction on your terms leaves tension unresolved. And unresolved tension makes people think about you after you're gone. That's influence. You don't need to dominate. You don't need to impress. You don't need to win. You just need to remain solid while others adjust around you. When you do that, people feel it immediately. And once they feel it, they don't forget it. Once someone decides your value, they protect that decision. Even when you later say smart things, even when you prove competence, their brain filters everything through the first impression frame. That's why some men can say almost nothing and still be listened to, while others talk endlessly and get ignored. It's not intelligence, it's not confidence, it's perceived position, and position is decided before logic kicks in. Your brain does this too. When someone enters a room, you don't ask, "Is this person valuable?" You feel it. The feeling comes first. The reasons come later. Humans are emotional first, rational second. This is where most men lose control. They try to correct the frame after it's already set. They try to be funnier, smarter, louder, more agreeable. All of that pushes them lower. High-value behavior never chases correction. It accepts the moment as it is and moves within it calmly. That calm creates contrast. Contrast creates authority. Think about it. When someone reacts emotionally, explains too much, or rushes to adjust, your instinctive response is subtle, distancing. But when someone stays steady, even under pressure, your attention locks in. This is why power often feels quiet, almost boring, until you realize everyone is orbiting around it. You don't need to dominate conversations. You don't need to perform. You don't need to win approval. You only need to not collapse when the moment tests you. And every first interaction tests you, silently. By the time people realize why they respect you, it's already too late to undo. Here's what most people never realize. By the time words matter, the verdict is already written. Humans don't listen first, they rank first. The brain is obsessed with efficiency. It wants to know immediately who leads and who follows. That's why value is decided before logic even enters the room. In those first moments, people aren't asking, "Is he smart?" They're asking, "Do I need to adjust myself to him?" And the scariest part? You can say everything right and still lose if your state betrays you. Microsignals decide this silently. The way you pause before answering, whether your face stays relaxed or tightens, whether your body settles into the space or hovers at the edges. These details feel invisible to you, but they're screaming to everyone else. Most men give away their rank because they leak urgency. They lean in too fast. They react too quickly. They match the other person's energy instead of holding their own. Subconsciously, this says, "I'm adaptable to you." And adaptability, early on, reads as lower value. High-value presence does something counterintuitive. It slows the interaction down. It introduces friction, not conflict, friction. Enough to make the other person recalibrate. They speak differently, they sit differently, they start checking themselves. This is when the shift happens. Once someone adjusts to you, they rarely reverse it. Their brain commits to consistency. They justify the hierarchy internally. They don't even realize they're doing it. It just feels natural. And that's the real power, not forcing dominance, not demanding respect, but creating a moment where the other person unconsciously steps into alignment. From that point on, everything you say lands heavier. Your silence feels louder, your approval feels rarer. And rarity is what the human mind values most. By the time the conversation reaches depth, the outcome is already biased in your favor. And all of it happened before you spoke. Once someone decides your value, they protect that decision. Even when you later say smart things, even when you prove competence, Their brain filters everything through the first impression frame. That's why some men can say almost nothing and still be listened to, while others talk endlessly and get ignored. It's not intelligence, it's not confidence, it's perceived position. And position is decided before logic kicks in. Your brain does this too. When someone enters a room, you don't ask, "Is this person valuable?" You feel it. The feeling comes first. The reasons come later. Humans are emotional first, rational second. This is where most men lose control. They try to correct the frame after it's already set. They try to be funnier, smarter, louder, more agreeable. All of that pushes them lower. High-value behavior never chases correction. It accepts the moment as it is and moves within it calmly. That calm creates contrast. Contrast creates authority. Think about it. When someone reacts emotionally, explains too much, or rushes to adjust, your instinctive response is subtle, distancing. But when someone stays steady, even under pressure, your attention locks in. This is why power often feels quiet, almost boring, until you realize everyone is orbiting around it. You don't need to dominate conversations. You don't need to perform. You don't need to win approval. You only need to not collapse when the moment tests you. And every first interaction tests you, silently. By the time people realize why they respect you, it's already too late to undo.